the real conversation they're having is with themselves.
What to say next?
They're pretending to listen and too busy thinking, what does this mean for me? How do I have to respond? But actually, once you understand that the real change happens when you listen, then what happens? Typically, increasingly, it will go quiet on the inside when you listen. And people talk about it in quite sort of airy-fairy, for want of a better word, terms. They talk about creating, it seems like an almost spiritual experience of creating a quiet, a silent place for people to actually think. How often do you actually have enough quiet to think? And it's an incredibly powerful thing. And there's one technique I teach which various of my students have gone on to apply. One guy ended up using it with his teenage daughter. They were having quite a rocky time, and he ended up deciding to use this technique every evening with his teenage daughter, and he says it's transformed their relationship. All it is you agree with your daughter, in this case, that you will listen to them for 2 minutes without interrupting, without saying anything. You're allowed to nod and smile and encourage, but you are not allowed to speak. And then when you finish that 2 minutes of listening, they'll do the same for you. It's a technique which I think comes from other things, marriage guidance training, but it's incredibly powerful. Some people find it really difficult to just shut up for 2 minutes.
I imagine they do. It's one of those ones that you think would be quite easy, but when you get to do it, you're almost burning to after 2 minutes.
And the discipline is just don't. Just see what... It's an experiment. See what happens when you don't. And yeah, I feel very confident in saying you will learn something you didn't already know.
I imagine that would be definitely the case.
And it might be you'll learn something about the person you're partnered with, or it might be you'll learn something about yourself, but you'll certainly learn something. I mean, one of my favourite quotes about listening is, a good listener is not only popular everywhere, after a while he gets to know something.
Brilliant. That's a good one. So you mentioned a little bit about that product that you're about to do. Have you got any other future plans that you've got in the mix about what you're looking to do?
This is a really difficult question, but I'm having fun at the moment with. I decided it was time to really challenge myself again. And just this morning I put out a question to my email list and asked them to vote on the next move I'm going to make. So it's really surprising that you asked me that question.
I got that email.
Is that what prompted the question?
Yeah, it probably was actually.
Wheels within wheels. So you know what I'm going to... I basically said to my email list, I've said, right, you get to vote on what do I teach next. Is it going to be how to use clean language and X-ray listening and metaphor to do better coaching and consulting? So literally, is it about skill building in your coaching and consulting? Or would you prefer using it in marketing and selling, so doing marketing in such a way that you don't feel you have to hard sell? Or would you prefer to learn how to use this to help yourself? You know, back to the position I was in when I first started my NLP training, and what I really wanted was not something to help other people. I really wanted just to help myself. But I couldn't find an answer. So I've thrown it open to my list, and they've got a week to tell me which one they want me to go for.
1 week?
1 week to decide which way I'm going to go. And at the last check, which was just before we started this conversation, it was pretty much exactly neck and neck between the three.
Wow. So it's going to be an interesting week. We're glued to see which one's leading. Have you got a personal preference to what you would want to do, or you leave it completely open?
I leave it open because I know which one I'd find easiest. And a great chunk of what's important to me about doing this work is not what's easiest for me. I need to be really cognizant of what's best. What is it that what is it that my audience, my listeners, my readers, the people who want to learn from me, well, what specifically do they want to know? Otherwise, well, it's really pure self-indulgence. I was talking about the old days when I was working in journalism. You don't create a newspaper based on what people want to say. If you do that, you end up with one of those crappy free magazines that you sometimes see that have nothing in there except adverts written by people trying to pretend that they are articles.
Yeah.
You never learn anything from that. You have to have a newspaper or a magazine needs to be based on what people want to read.
Yes, absolutely.
Not what people want to say. And it seems to me that the same is true of any product or service that we as coaches, or indeed anyone else, wants to sell. It has to be based on what people want to buy, not just on what I want to sell.
Well, you're going to find out in a week what that one is.
And it's in the interrelationship. So I didn't say in my options, I'll teach you how to write news stories. Because I don't want to teach people that. That's not of interest to me anymore. I don't think I can do a uniquely special job on that. So the place where we're going to be making money is that sweet spot where what we're good at, what we're passionate about, and what other people want coincides.
Okay, brilliant.
And sorry, I'm ranting again. I shall stop.
You carry on. But just before, because we're nearing the end now, just before we leave, I was wondering if you could tell the people where they can find out more about you.
Yeah, so my main site is called xraylistening.com. Pretty much any spelling of that will work, but X, no hyphen, nothing, Ray, R-A-Y, listening.com. And the other site, which probably is relevant for people who are NLP practitioners, hypnotherapists, coaches, people in that kind of occupation, if you want to find out more about the sweet spot sessions that I do, you need to go to www.trance, as in hypnotic trance, formingcommunications.com. So transformingcommunications.com.
And they can find out about the sweet spot.
Find out about the sweet spot.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks a lot for the interview, Julie. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun, I thought.
I've really enjoyed it too. I'm not sure whether I've given much valuable content, but
no, it's been great.
I've enjoyed ranting.
You've kept me on my toes because I've had to drift between the questions in regards to which order we do it in, rather than to allow it to flow and things like that. So that's been good. I enjoyed it.
And so we're playing with your listening skills and your ability to transition between your attention on yourself and your attention on me, and it's much more fun this way than right. I do my say and then you do your say. There's more to life than us sitting in our own little boxes. The fun is in the interaction.
Yes, conversation.
So yes, it's been great. Thank you very much indeed.
Brilliant. So this interview should go out next week, I imagine. So I'll let you know of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably too tight to get it in time for them to vote in the next Move competition. But have you voted?
I haven't yet. No, I'm going to go back and I'm going to review them and make my choice.
Yes, cast your vote now.
Good. Good.
So that was really interesting. Thank you very much. And I wish I'd clicked. Oh, I did click record right at the beginning. So now I can go off and find out what I said.
Brilliant. Well, that was good.
I don't think I was rude about anybody named, was I? No, I don't think I named it.
There was no naming. There was no naming. I always enjoy a good naming, but there wasn't any.
Okay, so I can probably sleep soundly in my bed. Thank you very much indeed for interviewing me, and yeah, good luck with it.
Thank you, Judy. I'll see you later.
Thanks a lot. Cheers then. Bye-bye.
Bye.